Well, hello everyone. I have to admit, I love tarot and I do my tarot every day. And I do it from the sun sign to the moon sign, that kind of thing. But I decided that wanted to draw a card for Mother's Day. So the Temperance card came up. And the thing about the Temperance card is it's a card that reminds you of balance and to be able to integrate your lessons and learnings, into your life, and also about finding a middle ground. And so, as Mother's Day comes, for all of us with family systems, whether we're mothers or fathers, um, it really doesn't matter. It's just, it reminded me that, we're in fact we're fallible people. We make mistakes. We're not perfect. The key is to kind of find ways to learn from the lessons and go forward. So I'm going to be a little bit more specific. Let's look at family systems because Mother's Day is coming, right? And
Yeah, last time I checked.
so take a walk back in your life and just think about things you felt when you were young. Did you feel unworthy? Were you constantly in trouble or yelled at? Or was someone always making fun of you because you didn't do something correctly? Whatever it might be. Um, the the key there is when we're looking at this temperance card is to sit with it, and then can you understand who it was that did it in the family? Was it a mother, father, or was it continual grandparents, aunts, uncles, whatever, or just friends? Who would say those things to you? And if you could really reflect on it, where do you think that was coming from? Was it you really the problem, or was it a pattern that someone had learned themselves previously? So let's say that like for me, I was never good enough, no matter what I did, never, in a way. And so when I look back, though, and I reflect on those things with my mother or my father, that had to do with their upbringing, bringing those patterns into my life. The problem is when those things come to us, it's like, unless we really knew, and back then I didn't know, it's like how do I find my worth? What do I need to do? So what I'm going to encourage you to do based on the temperance card is go back, really look at that. What lessons did it teach you? Are you still angry about it? Are you still holding on to it? Is it still affecting your daily performance in life? And then just give it a little love and let it go and release it. Because temperance is asking us to find balance. We can't find balance if we're still holding on to our anger, if we're still holding on to our self-worth, just all that yada, yada, yada that happened to us as we progress through life. Doesn't matter how old you are or where you are in your life right now. So the key is once we can look at it and understand maybe the lessons from it. Why did I need to learn this? I'm so sorry. Why did I need to learn this? What is it about it? Then we can honor it, give it its due. There was a purpose for our soul, and then release it, and then integrate that into our system for who we want to become and where we want to go.
Hmm.
And I
Man,
don't know
man,
if that makes sense. I'm trying to.
that was quite the intro, actually. I'm gonna just call it time out and just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, including
Absolutely.
yourself, including my mom. You're my second mother,
Mhm.
but my first one. Happy Mother's Day, and to all the great moms out there. Before I forget to say that, special weekend.
Absolutely.
I think what you're alluding to, Linda, is what I picked up on your intro there. Um, there was a period that I alluded to forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so true, guys. I mean, there's been so many times in your lives, our lives, my life, where it's not easy to forgive. Um, but I've always said I'm always able to forgive. I mean, I forget, but I can forgive now in my life. Because if we don't, as you said, how are we going to move on? And our mantra is just let it be. Well, if you don't forgive, how can you let it be? You're gonna be stuck on that situation for quite some time. And honestly, it only hurts ourselves.
Yeah.
Would you agree, Linda? I mean, if you're hanging
Yes.
on to something where it's in the past traumatic experience, um, maybe some more traumatic than others, and you just can't let it go, man, it's going to be a tough road to hoe because it's going to happen again.
Hmm.
And so, what's going to happen when you have multiple situations add up on you and you can't forgive any of them or you can't move past that challenge that comes to you? It's going to be more challenging on yourself, actually. And I found that to be true, the case. So, forgiveness is key. That's what I picked up on. You also mentioned, speaking of, again, we're on this generational topic and it keeps coming up, but it's just so profound where these life cycles are passed down, through generations, through years and years, thousands of years, probably, maybe separate lives. And you have to be able to recognize it, good, bad, or indifferent, right? And if something, as you mentioned, was not somewhat conducive to your environment growing up as a child or even adolescent or an adult, well, it's probably more so that other person that has not been able to forgive or let go of that trauma from previous generations. That's my thoughts.
I would tend to agree with that, and then we tend to perpetuate it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm certainly not perfect. So, raising kids, there might have been a book, but there's no one to really guide you. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot.
Oh, no,
We can
no.
say that we choose to do better or we choose to do differently, but in reality, we're also re continuing on those patterns,
Yeah.
that we've learned until we decide, I don't want to be this person, kind of thing. But it's also just don't beat yourself up because I think part of the not moving forward for so many people is you get to the point that I just don't deserve or I'm not worthy and I can't be loved or I don't know how to love or blah 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 whatever it is, and you that hinders you. So what I think we're both saying is that once you can just forgive and let go, that's
Hmm.
healing to your soul. That's healing for you, whether you realize it or not. And that's actually making you a new person, a new individual. You've transformed, you've grown. And
What's that
so
song? Live and Let Live. Is that
live
the
and let
Beatles?
mm-hmm,
And then Guns N' Roses did Live and Let Die. But
mm-hmm.
I like Live and Let Live, actually. Both great songs, by the way. But yeah, when you said that, it just kind of rang a bell. And you got to let it live,
And then
you know?
and every time we change and grow and evolve, we have to integrate it. There's a
Yeah.
period of no matter how much work you do and how much work you do, how much work you do, okay, I have to integrate it. I have to figure out how to live with my new self, right? Okay,
That's the
I've
key. And
made
that's the
this
challenging part, actually.
I've made this new choice and I'm gonna hell or high water, I'm gonna get there, but then okay, I gotta integrate it.
That's right.
I'm
And
not gonna
that's
be
the hard
perfect.
part.
So that's where integration and not perfection is where it kept coming back to me is because I now have to learn to be the new me and carry it forward. And how long can I sustain it?
All right. Now it made sense to me. When you had texted me earlier about the topic, now I get it. You're right. We could talk all day.
Oh yeah.
But we have some good ideas, maybe not some good ideas or worse than others, but if you don't actually just put it into practice on a daily basis, then it's not going to come to fruition. That's the bottom line. And it's not easy, guys. Trust us, it's not.
Mm-mm.
And I make mistakes every day on it, but I do remind myself more and more to just keep on, as you said, integrating it into my life, my daily life. And when I do that, um, things tend to go a lot better.
Yeah, don't they though? When
Right?
our mindset is different. And the other thing is just remember, use your senses. I think one of the things,
Yeah,
this is for men and women, but if we just use our five senses and spend a minute, what am I seeing right now? What am I
yeah,
hearing right now? What am I feeling? Blah blah. That actually puts us back in our body and
yeah.
makes and helps us be grounded.
I like that. That's a great point. Again,
So
it takes practice.
a lot.
Always does.
A lot. And
Always.
and so, this is for men and women, children, teenagers, whatever.
Yeah.
This is a good thing with the bullying and stuff too, that I'll just add this going on in the world today with
Mm,
young people and the high suicide rate. It's a good thing to practice with your teenage kids or your young children, and tolerance, and you
it's a good
can't
idea.
you can't be tolerant of others if you can't be tolerant of yourself. We're
That's
not.
one thing we didn't tolerate bullies. I mean, if you try to bully somebody that was being bullied, oh man, it's bad news for you because that was instilled very early on where and say if I was in a situation when I was a young kid and somebody tried to bully me, basically my parents like, what are you gonna do about it, man? And usually when you stand up to bully, they're done, they're toast, So
Mhm.
that's a great point. But we need more. This new generation has to understand that they have to stand up for kids that are being bullied early on. You know, Not to change the subject, but yeah, it's another great point. Probably another series we should probably have on it. I'm not an expert in it, but all I knew, I never was one for anybody being bullied at all, and didn't tolerate it at all.
No,
Zero.
me
That
neither.
was zero tolerance policy. Because I mean, what was the point? I mean, you're gonna bully around some kid that did nothing to you, or maybe just less than. I don't. It was so weird to me, but no, they didn't fly around my group of friends and people
Well,
I ran
that
with.
goes back to if we really looked back at their patterns in their history, they've been abused or they've been bullied
There's
themselves.
always some trauma, isn't
There's
there?
always some traumas. And
Yep.
so what we can do as light workers is just help each other, forgive yourself, let yourself heal, and just keep on evolving. And it's just
Like
about
it.
integrating what you learn at each new step and phase. There's an
Yeah.
integration process. So it becomes the new you, and then just carry that forward.
Integration process.
Yeah.
That's what it is, ultimately, guys. It really is. Well, I'm going to leave the group with this because it's just, it's Friday night. Live and let live. And what I mean by that also is let it be. I know we've mentioned before, don't get caught up on the past. Work on forgiveness. Um, for that goes for any situation. It could be small or very large, but and it's not easy to do. I'm a testament to that. But if you do let it go and forgive, um, you'll be a better person for it.
Well, it loses its power over you.
That's right.
There's no power left.
Great point.
So have a wonderful Mother's Day and
Oh,
enjoy
I will.
family dynamics.
No,
Thank
you have a great Mother's Day weekend and enjoy it. And hopefully, you get to spend
you.
some time with friends and family, Linda. Appreciate you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay, you too. Same here.
Love you.
Bye. Love you.